And once you've eaten all the popcorn, it's right back to a pencil holder. That is one cool St. Patrick's Day pencil holder. Today we are going to do the coolest St. Patrick's Day arts and crafts. Alright guys, so what you're going to need is a tin can or paper cup. You could even use a plastic cup. I'm going with a tin can today for simplicity. Also, you'll need construction paper of various colors, some gold sequins that we might use to spice up the buckle a little bit, a pair of scissors, and some glue. Once we've completed our St. Patrick's Day hat decoration, we're going to want to adorn it with some gold doubloons. First things first, we take our can and we wrap it with black paper. I'm going to cut off this excess at the bottom here. There we go, now we've got a snug fit. We can glue that on. So far we have this. Next we need to cut a circle out of this black to represent the brim of the hat. And if you have something circular, it might help. It's going to be just a little on the big side. Small side. Here's a strategy. When you can't quite find the right thingamajig that you need, but you can find something close, use the something close and apply this method. That's actually pretty good. It's actually not too bad. But I'm going to trace around this in pencil. It's just enough so that I can see it. I'm not sure if the camera can pick that up or not, but it's just enough that I can see it. And I'm going to cut around this, but I'm going to leave a little extra, just knowing that I want it to be a little bit bigger. Try to make it the same distance all the way around. Look, we do want to make it look as nice as we can, but at Craft Kids TV, we don't go for perfection, we go for fun. So, as long as it's somewhat close all the way around, it will do the trick. Okay, so I've got my rim, my brim, and I've got the top hat portion. So we're currently looking at something like this. Pretty neat. We need to put a green ribbon around the hat. We'll achieve that by just cutting a strip out of this paper. And we have a tall hat, so I'm going to make a pretty thick ribbon.
You don't need the whole thing, but
We'll just cut off a little bit of that excess in the back. And now we will go and we will glue this on. I want the seams in the same place, so I kind of did that wrong. What I'll do is I'll come back here to this seam, and that's where it'll start. And then I'll just nice and easy wrap it around until we meet back up here in the back. Put a little more glue on there. Get that into position. And then lastly, finish off the glue. So we are now doing awesome. We now have the top hat portion, the brim of the hat, really starting to come together. We need a buckle, which we're going to make out of this yellow paper. So we want the buckle to be appropriate size with the ribbon, which is the same height as this. So knowing that, we want the buckle to be just a little bit bigger than that. And I like a square buckle. So I am going to make my buckle just about that big.
You want to do the same. Make it just a little bigger than your ribbon.
And then in order to cut out the middle, just do a simple trick where you fold it. No, don't crease it, but fold it. Make a cut mark in it. Now your scissors can get in there and start doing some work. So that was a little off. So rather than trying to trim it up on the inside, I trimmed the outside. Again, these do not have to be perfect because we're just going for some fun. Okay, and then we're going to take our buckle. We're going to glue it on there. It's going to come down a little below the bottom. I'll just have to cut that off. So we will glue the back of the buckle. We want to go opposite the seam, so we're going to go right out here in front. It's looking really, really nice. Really, really nice. And then we'll just, like I said, cut the excess off. Okay, here we are. This is where we're at. We've got a top hat, a leprechaun hat. We've got a buckle. We've got a green ribbon. Now we're going to add a little bit of decoration here. I didn't have any. What I wanted to use was glitter. I didn't have any gold glitter, so we will use a few of these sequins just to go around here and make it jazzed up just a little bit. You do not have to do this part. In fact, I I almost said no to it because I'm just not sure how it's going to make it look. I'm not sure if it's the look I want, so we'll put a couple on here and see. Yeah. So I've decided against using the sequins. It just didn't have the look I was going for. So then we're at the last step. We're gonna take our glue stick and we're gonna go right around the bottom of the can. You know what I might do actually as well, because we have it right here.
Probably take a piece of this tape. Any kind of tape will do. Oh, it's annoying.
I'm gonna take a piece of this packing tape, make a nice tape roll out of it, put that on the bottom, just like that, and that'll help the glue that I just put on there. We'll try to center it best we can. That's pretty good. And now look at that. Would you look at how cool that is? There are some cool things you can do with this, and you're probably wondering what those gold doubloons are for. Actually, 2 gold doubloons and 1 silver one. This one's here is super cool. It looks like it's a handmade one. You could gather up a bunch of your art supplies and just kind of have them hang out in there. It could be a St. Patrick's Day pencil holder. But what you could also do is something a little bit more yummy. You could take some popcorn, kisses, found these babies for Christmas. You could take the green ones, plop those in, add your gold doubloons, a little more popcorn, top it off with another Hershey's Kiss, and you've got yourself one heck of a tasty treat.
Yum, yum.
So I hope you enjoyed making these cool, one-of-a-kind St. Patrick's Day decorations. Now, maybe check out another video. Could look at this one, or maybe check out this playlist over here. I gotta go eat up, but I'll see you guys in the next video.